Hey everybody, and welcome back to Crypt Monkey Paints. As my child walks in the door, could have sworn we heard you pulling up her. Welcome, welcome, Izzy. Anyway, so tonight we are world building and working from my shelf of shame. So I have three minis that I grabbed, and basically it was actually kind of funny. I just was like, oh, that one's almost done, that one's almost done, that one's almost done. Cool. Now I have projects I can work on. Don't know if I'll finish one or all or any, or then I realized I have all mini Monster Mayhem sitting here. Completely accidental, but legitimately every single one of these is from Mini Monster Mayhem.
Well, it is shameful not to get their stuff done.
It is. It is. So, with that being said, let's just jump in and get started because we have world building coming up soon. And tonight we will be talking about travel.
Specifically, sailing vehicles for land and
Exactly.
water.
Which I enjoy.
At least that's where we'll start. We'll see where we end up.
Yes. We're always open to the natural progression of the conversation.
Uh-huh.
But this one in particular is a beholder from the soul within steel collection that he did. And I know when I base coated this in black and blue, I had a thought process and a theme that I was going for, and I have no idea what it is. So I'm not trying to get rid of the blue, but the blue was way more prevalent, and I had no idea what the hell I was doing. So we're moving on from the blue. Hello, my love. They're coming in for a snuggle. The joys of having an older one. Your laundry is in the dryer.
All right, thank you. It's only washer.
The joys of being young.
So, anywho, I'm just kind of not annihilating the blue, just toning it down, toning it back. You can see little spots of blue are going to peek out, and I'm okay with that. But we're going to let that dry. He's going to sit back there. And basically, I'll put him, I've got a Reaper stand base that I'll glue him down to. He'll be on the stand like that. Shite. Hello.
Me.
Jackass. I can't see who does noises.
Right there.
Oh, see, I never see that. I never see it on the screen. I never notice it.
Oh, so you're always watching from here.
I'm always watching on the chat, yeah.
And you're going to miss some of those.
Yep, I'm going to miss some of those. All right.
We have folks hanging out on YouTube. It's easier to catch their chat with the...
I agree. I like being able to see their chat, so I am perfectly happy with it being up like it is. And this is my gunmetal gray. I'm hiccuping and burping at the same time. I paused. And I'm going to kind of...
Hiccuping?
I didn't, like, clean my dry brush or anything. This is a very, very wet dry brush, but he's too bright. I don't want him this bright. This is also from the Souls of Steel. This is the Galvanized Serpent. I can't believe I remember these names.
That was one of our first ones, right?
One of the first, yeah. It was like 2 months in, I think. So it wasn't very far in. This one, the Glacial Queen, is actually from like the first release. She kind of goes right in there. We'll set her back there. Izzy's in there talking to her dad about a school grade that she is very unhappy with. She got like a 81%. I'm not throwing you under the bus. I'm simply sharing the conversation that you're having in the background with my viewers. So basically, she got a low grade because she fucked off and didn't get it done in time. So, like, almost every single ding that she got was a grammatical error. In one sentence, she legitimately forgot a full word.
Out last minute. Oh, they have the word.
And this is why you don't wait the last minute. Because cramming writing doesn't work. Not when you're struggling to write something. If you're enjoying something, it just flows out and it works really well.
I've got
Bob.
the gates so tight that I don't think anybody even hears Isabella talking.
So Isabella is in there defending herself and doing a fairly decent job at it, to be honest. But I do have a little bit of an issue with I'm slightly biased. Funny thing is she was in there whispering to her father. I think she was trying to not let me hear. Gotcha. Which I totally did because why not? Bye, baby.
Bye.
Izzy said bye, viewers. Can't tell if I am in focus or not. This guy. I think that looks good.
Yarp.
Like even some of the spots that I had painted, because I just base coated. I didn't clear coat or anything like that. So it's like some of the paint kind of just wiped off where I've been handling them. Like, should I paint this? No, I'll set it back down. Should I paint this? No, I'll set it back down. Some of these are like not even really going to take all that long to do. I kind of feel bad that they've been sitting there for so long.
So I did not manage to get the new content piece out before the stream. I probably mentioned that to you before.
No, because we were doing so good yesterday. We were like way ahead of schedule. And then today, we still got a lot done
I
today.
got big check marks.
But it was like last minute working to get everything ready for. So, no, if you mentioned something, my head was already working toward what we were doing, and I didn't pay attention. So you did not get the content piece out yet?
No, but either late tonight or early tomorrow, I'll get it out there. I just need to get it in a document. You've already finished your part. I'm going to get the rest of the content out weekend.
Yeah, I think so. Half the battle is getting bye, baby. Half the battle is getting that few minutes to sit down and do stuff. Ow. Okay. He is spiky. And he's catching on my finger. Oh, not on my fingers, technically. Gloves. Which I painted the other day. Did I tell you this? I painted the other day without gloves on. And it didn't bother my skin at all. I was really, really excited. And then I realized scrubbing the paint off started getting my fingers started getting really sensitive. So I was like, yeah, still better off wearing the glove.
Yeah, you probably should just.
I'm kind of just resigned to when I'm painting, I'm wearing gloves, and that's it. I mean, even like when we were at Daikon and we were moving stuff around, I was wearing work gloves, which felt really, really weird. But right after this happened, my hands were doing okay, but not great. And I went to Archon, and loading and unloading tore my hands apart. It was so bad. So I wasn't even going to play around with that.
That too.
Well, I mean, that was like right sort of kind of in the beginning where my hands were kind of going up and down, and we didn't really understand. We really had no clue what the hell was happening with my hands yet. So I didn't know. I didn't think that would be a bad thing.
Rockfan says, you caught your daughter's whispers because becoming a mom gives you at least +10 to passive perception. Nice.
I've always had like freaky good hearing. And then you're right, it was like I could hear them rustling in their sleep in bed. They were rolling over in their crib, and I'm like, what was that? So okay. Kind of like the dirty steel look, but rustling. Oh, it's that tissue paper. Izzy happened to put it right underneath the fan in there. Well, I wasn't saying, I was just talking. Because I doubt anybody else but me can hear it.
I kind of hear it.
Do you really?
Kind of.
Here is my other dry brush. Literally just got it out. And now I already can't find it. Oh, because it's upside down.
I fixed it for your freaky here.
You said you could hear it.
Just barely. Excuse me.
All right, so I was mixing the what do you gunmetal gray, or it's not a gray, I mean it is, but it's a metallic. So I was mixing that with my black to kind of make it dirty looking, and now I just have the gunmetal gray. If you are ready, my dear, you can pick up and start.
Thinking maybe I should give a little primer. I need to write a big primer for Kethar and the Plains so that we can send people over to cryptmonkey.net to go read that there.
Yeah.
It's on my list. Rockfan says, that is one intimidating looking danger noodle.
If it was a little bit wider, it could almost be a bracelet, and it would be like super cool. I'm going to do it up here. Like if it would sit, kind of like coming through my wrist, and so basically he was like, "Roar!" It'd be awesome. Yeah, I think it's really super. I like it, and I like that it's all steel. Because honestly, doing metallics is super quick. My plate. My gunmetal is not quite as bright as I want it to be for my highlight dry brushing, so. Good.
So I need to get a primer together so that I can get it on cryptmonkey.net, and then that'll shorten this. But I also need to get better at concisely explaining what this world is like. So Kethar, 3,000 years ago, people from Earth came there to colonize. They were only there for about 25 or 30 years, and this enormous cataclysm occurred, and it took away their technology. It took away a lot of the people who knew how to do things, maybe without just pushing a button. And it sort of put people back. Example I gave recently, like if you were a microbiologist, then maybe now you were gonna be working on being a stonemason, woodcutter, something like that, because we got dropped from this advanced human technological society pretty much to the Stone Age, just about. Um, so fast forward 3,000 years to what we want to kind of think of as the present at the moment. And people are kind of what we would consider Victorian era, Old West era kind of thing. There's some obvious, really big differences. I mean, there's not, like when I think of the Old West, I think of trains heading out west, right? And there's really not that sort of thing, at least on a big scale yet.
Yeah.
One of the things about this world is that it is a super massive exoplanet. We call this world building the plane, which is just part of Kethar. But the plane itself, to walk from its widest point from one side to the other, would take 20 years. And you're not going to put a train across that because there's too many things that get in the way of being able to do such a thing. For one, there's the Great Sand Slip on the western edge. A couple of hours of anything sitting on it and it just sinks. So walk across it, but you can't really leave anything setting on it.
So the train could move across it, except the tracks would not be there very
Yeah,
quickly.
the tracks are going to disappear before they ever finish laying the tracks down, right?
Right.
So there's a problem with that sort of fast land travel. Then there's the problem with flying, which they're just starting to get into that with things like balloons, but that has big problems just about everywhere, not just over the plain, but other parts of Kethar too, because there are large flying creatures that just stay aloft all the time and they're territorial, or they're attacking the balloons for food or whatever. It's a big problem to fly or to try to do long distances, which would be great for them to be able to get around these long distances. So that's why we're going to talk about sailed vehicles today for both land and water. We'll see how it goes, but I'm kind of thinking at this point, maybe unless people think otherwise, that our sailed land vehicles are probably going to be fairly small craft. Small, lightweight, not going to see like the big, what is it? Shadow and Bone.
Oh,
When they go
yeah.
when they go through for anybody who's familiar with that, where they go through the
What do they call it?
Shadowlands or the Darkness, or I don't remember what it's
I
called.
don't remember what it's called now.
Those are like sea-going vessel-sized ships.
Yeah, I mean, imagine like a pirate ship, but it works on land.
Yeah, and that really, I don't think would work. Certainly not for super long distances. And of course, the plane has other problems that get in the way of that sort of large. The main way that people travel out onto the plane are in land ships. They're actually called land ships, but they're not sailing vessels. They're pulled by usually a team of 2 dog oxen, which are giant bulldogs that are about 5.5 feet long, 4.5 feet tall. But they pretty much look like bulldogs, rather. That's the main way that people get out there. Big metal boxes, essentially. The reason they do that is because the plane's a dangerous place. Got all these creatures, especially at night. And the land ship protects you from those things that want to attack. Rockfan says, I wonder if they can make some sort of windsurfing sailboat ships that skim across the land in the desert. So the way this works, Rockfan, I don't remember if you've seen this before or not. The right screen. Yeah, it is still the right screen.
It's like one of those little tiny floaty bugs right here in front of my face.
So I'll put Rockfan. And then I'll add your note. So what we do now is we know it came from you and we have the note. Comes up where we want to develop something. Then we'll go through our notes from all the crowd forgers like you. If you decide later that you're like, I don't really want to share or be a part of it, that's fine too. As long as we haven't put ink to paper, so to speak, just let us know and we'll exclude those notes. But now this can maybe become part of the short stories, the game world, that sort of stuff. Okay. So I wonder if they can make some sort of windsurfing sailboat ships that skim across the land in the desert. So I took this note from Bali Tempest last night too. I think it's kind of close to the same ideas, right? The land yachts, but pulled by giant animals. So a wheelless carriage, but pulled by beasties, stylized for shore. Okay, well, actually, not the same because Bali Tempest was mentioning using big animals.
Yeah, Rockfan, that's exactly what I was thinking about was the sandbenders.
Nice.
I'm sorry, I feel like I have a hair on me now.
Well, there's also some real things that scientists are working with right now. I don't know if you've seen these or not before, Dawn. They're three-wheeled. They have three wheels, and it's just sort of like an A-frame that you're sitting in, and it has a big propeller, and it's like pulling the wind in and powering the wheels at the same time. I don't know. It's wild the way it works.
Crazy.
It's sort of like sailing with a propeller. The propeller isn't, as far as I understand it, it's not like motorized airplane propeller. It's so then the notes I add, I don't put in italicus so that I can fits to it.
So, can I? I wasn't sure if you had something else you wanted to say or anything. So, a few things that I can think of that would impair this vehicle, so to speak, is like the land ships are really there to get you across the plains safely because you obviously can't make the trip, in one day. And there's not places where you can stop and stay for the night and be safe. You need to be able to buckle down and secure yourself, right?
Yeah.
So the land ships are pulled by these dog ox because they're oxen. They're powerful, they're strong, they're really good at their job. So in a land ship, the sailing ships, in order for them to be able to be propelled by the wind, they need to be on the lighter side, which means you lose that night protection. So that's one of the reasons that I foresee that these wouldn't necessarily be, I'm going to travel across the plain with this, unless you're one person and you got a little cubbyhole to hide in at night. I can't see for someone being able to travel really great distances with these. Now, that being said, these would be great to add to the land ship and send out scouts, for the day and stuff like that with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and one thing I was thinking, for a small team, because you can't carry very much. Well, let me write your.
Let go.
These could be dangerous over the plain. Anytime.
Yeah. I just don't see these giving you the protection you need.
So One of the things I've talked about are people traveling on foot in small parties, like I don't know, various reasons, right? That you're traveling out with maybe 15, 20 people or less total, and they will they'll just walk across the plain, and then as it starts to get close to evening time, they have people walking around them with these canvassed poles.
Yes.
Remember
Yeah.
me mentioning that?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe somebody could do something like that where they say, all right, I got to stop for the night. And then they real quick, they pull out their canvas poles and they surround it. So they're sort of camoed. The light doesn't show, campfire
Yeah.
and stuff like that. It's still the same sort of level of danger, you know, that if a beastie gets close enough, I mean, they're gonna know you're there, right?
Right.
But they could follow those same sorts of, all right, everybody stays quiet at this time of day, you know.
I mean, you're right. It is doable, but it's not the way that most people would feel secure about doing it
I
that
agree.
way.
It could be interesting for the stories to have people pushing it that far for some extreme. It had to be a pretty extreme reason. You want to put yourself
Yeah.
out there in that kind of danger, right?
Well, I mean, I could actually even see a competition happening of, extreme, like the Iditarod, I think is what it's called in Alaska. That really long dog sled race, and it's dangerous. It's hard to do. So I could see people making these quick ships to make these, a certain track, not obviously throughout the plane, but out to this point, to this point, to this point, and back again. You got like 3 checkpoints you're gonna hit.
Like a 2-year race or
Yeah.
something. 1 year out, 1 year back. Who makes it first? Wow, that is a fun idea.
So, I mean, that could be, and that's those hardcore, not hardcore. Well, I mean, yes, but what do you call them? Extreme sports people. Yeah, I think it really will make a good scout ship too. Like
Rockfan
Roxanne
says
was saying.
definitely better for scout ships for single or 2 people. You know, that's not a bad point too. Is even let me get your race notes down real quick, but that's a good point when you think about even a larger group. They have these sort of small light land sailors that let a scout go out ahead of the 150 people, see
Yeah.
what's going on a couple of hours out.
Oh, there's another really good reason to have a scout ship, but I can't talk about it on the stream.
You're as bad as I
Yes.
am.
So I'm going to take a moment to take a note because I can't say it. If I could get to the right thing, it would be amazing. Saying.
um, Rock fan.
It was me, sorry. I forgot it was going to do that.
Rockfan says, "Oh, great! Now I'm thinking of Baldo, but in the desert and trying to transport emergency supplies as fast as possible."
I thought it was Balto. Maybe it is Baldo. Is this another one of those Berenstein Bear things?
This is the Berenstein. You mean the Berenstein? Berenstein.
I know what Rockfan said, but I thought it was Balto.
I thought it was Balto too. But also Baldo. Didn't that come up something we were watching recently? Or
I don't know what Baldo
the
is.
clown. Somebody was talking about that weird, scary story, something like that. I turned around and Baldo was standing there staring at me. I don't remember what the hell we were watching.
I'm going to use Runic Glow.
Typo, it's the wolf dog.
Yeah. I was pretty sure it was Balto. And I knew what movie you meant, regardless if you were saying it right or if I was saying it right. Either way, I knew what you meant. I loved that one.
Excuse me.
That pink is seriously too bright, so I'm going to mix some black in there. That did not work. Okay. So the black and the pink did not work, but the pink and a purple I have out did work. I like that color better.
So water sailing one that I've mentioned when we had our previously, excuse me, our previously imaginary town. Like, let's just say it's a big long lake and there's a big long town, and now it even has a name, right? Longshore, name of the city, edges up against it. But I mentioned it when we talked about that on the lake, move things around on the water. Excuse me. They have sailing barges.
Mm-hmm.
So those things are like super slow. But they hold a lot of stuff, a lot of people, powered by sails. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Rockfan says maybe the short distances could run on a relay race like a network, so no one small ship travels too far at once from base to base.
That could be fun.
I think Rockfan just invented the new snail mail across the plane, maybe. That's a reason why people would maybe do that small group or one person. Like, I travel for 3 months this way and 3 months back and 3 months this way and 3 months back or something, doing that Pony Express thing like Rockfan's describing here.
Yeah. Ow. Stuck. Yeah, I definitely like that idea. Fingers keep getting stuck in his spikes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Groovy. I love it. Yeah, that could be that's another career too. Um yeah, that's sweet. I like the idea of this. Well, first of all, you mentioned the race, and without going into any detail, really, on our list of short stories that we're going to write, one of them is about a race. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Mm-mm.
Maybe I just didn't tell you about it, and I just wrote down my notes.
Which is altogether possible.
So we may have two race stories out of this. That one is actually one of the ones where I'm breaking the rules too. I'm not actually on the plane that race. There's still dangers, obviously, even off the plane, but
Eh. Yeah, there is. You can
you can't help it, can you? I know, that's why we got to get more of this stuff out. We don't have to be so tight-lipped. Um, see.
I mean, we've talked about it plenty of times of there being, people playing around with and working with steam power too. I definitely would love to see some um steam powered, and maybe it's people are attempting to get these to work, and things are not super awesome, this is amazing yet, but
What will so there's a couple of places where towns are actually pretty close together, like they're only a few weeks away, and they've built rail systems between them. But I think one of the problems they have because of the distance is that is a lot of materials to put together. That's a lot of resources to put together.
to be able to have that much steam
To have
going,
that much, metal
stuff
tracked and the wood that goes under it and all of that and
Yeah.
the manpower. That's not to say that, someday they won't be all over the place in the west and the east of the, but now at least, so it's a lot for emerging technology. But I'm sure they're already
So-
seeing the benefits, because if you have a 2 weeks apart, means that it's 2 weeks sort of normally walking from one town to the next. So
it's a geographical oddity.
yeah,
I'm sorry, you just
it's geographical oddity. 2 weeks from everywhere. So if it's a 2 week walk, I mean, you're talking about something that just takes a couple of days by train. Then that's
Yeah.
got to seem fairly magical to these folks. So far away from each other normally.
So,
One wants more steam.
well, and I'm just thinking, like, maybe it's not perfect yet, but you've got, crazy inventors blowing up and doing all these things because they're trying to get it where it is. Useful. It is an option,
So one of the things I've thought about are lifts that people like farmers will use out on the plateau of the plain, where let's say you've got your dog ox, maybe you got both of them, and you're trying to drag them up some sort of an incline. You want me to show that?
No, I mean they can see.
Dimstone. So you've got dog ox, and you're trying to drag a wagon up a ravine or something like that, right? And it's getting stuck. So one of the tools they have are it's essentially turning like a wagon or something like a wagon, or a skid puller, not skid, like a anything you're going to drag these things on.
Right.
And they have these enormous kites essentially, because the plain is very windy. So in order to help dog oxen, for instance, get something up an area that has a heavy incline or something like that, they'll attach these and it'll kind of take some of the weight off, and the dog oxen can just sort of walk it through whatever that area is.
Keep hitting my mic with my hand.
What kind of steam stuff would you like to see? A lot of the steam stuff I think they're playing with right now is not necessarily transportation, starting to become more industrialized
Yeah.
in some areas.
I mean, I would love to see somebody trying to make a steam powered land ship.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. But
It's a lot of fuel.
it is a lot of fuel, and it's maybe not the best way to do it, but you know somebody's going to try it.
Yeah. Rockfan says maybe the lifts could be powered like a hot air balloon. That's interesting too. I mean, they already have the wind helping to pull, but the direction has to be right too, I guess. And if you have that sort of hot air balloon lift to it, then you can hit the right air current that's pulling in the direction you need it to, or something. It's pretty sweet. What are these balloons made out on the plane? I wonder.
Well, I immediately went to Raindar hide.
That's kind of
but-
what I was thinking. Or something from a raindar, right?
Ooh, a bladder.
like a bladder or stomach or something. Raindar. And I'm sorry if I'm saying stuff you already know, but the raindar, for anybody who may not know, is basically a giant reindeer. They're still herbivores, but they're very aggressive, very territorial. At full adulthood, they'll stand at about 8 stories tall. Very, very large. They're also domesticatable.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of an interesting creature because some people will actually there's a religious group that some migratory groups that live out on the plain that don't even have homes. They just have domesticated reindeer, and that keeps them safe because nothing else wants to mess with the reindeer for the most part.
Right this time without having to redo it.
Hmm?
Trying to put the little white highlight on the eye. And I got it perfect on the other eye, and then I messed up this eye, so I had to start this eye over. There we go. It's just a little shine. I don't know if you can see it. I can't see it because like this light is shining right at the wrong spot for me. So he is done. And I have started a base for him. So I'm going to work on that base. This isn't the base he goes with. He actually just goes with a plain base. But I had this kind of muddy, weird looking one. So I figured I would mess with it. Get it working for him. So I think that's what I'm going to continue to work on. Then I'll have one finished.
Yeah. Get it off of that shelf.
Yes.
Rockfan says, speaking of steam, would there be barges that are steam powered like the old steamboats in Louisiana? I think they moved people up and down the Mississippi, the ones with the big wheels.
Those were paddle boats.
Paddle steamboats. Yeah, I think we're probably going to see those more prevalent before we'll see trains, um, because they have the cost and energy of building the boat. Then it's just learning whatever river you're on, right? It's not all that track, and you don't have to build a road for it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Unless you're working something like the Mississippi, then you just learn your portion of it.
right? Yeah. The there could be limitation. Well, there could be limitations, but it could just be things that they do to build around whatever that limitation is. And what I'm getting at is like the big lake, which is pretty much like an ocean is on here on Earth. Um, the storms that come out there and things like that, it may be too much for what we think of as when we just think of a steamboat, right? They may have like built around that too. Um, saying that, thinking about like the the boats that we started developing for the kelp forest on the coasts, where they're mechanical in that they have arms on the sides and at the nose, and they sort of drag themselves through these thick kelp forests, because the kelp forests on Kethar, they actually grow beyond the water, and the stalks of these kelp are tree sized, and as they come out of the water they become hardened. So sort of like a very swayy forest. These boats just use arms to drag themselves above the water and through uh, the forest, through the kelp trees. So I guess my point is, even though right now I'm like, oh, there'd be some things they got to work around on a big body of water, but they may. I mean, they weren't like the river steamboats, but they had seagoing steamboats. They were just longer, and I think they used sails to help propulsion.
I think so.
Kind of the fun part, I think. Saying, "Ooh, there could be a problem there," and then making something up. That's just wild to get around it. Get around that problem. You know?
Well, yeah, because when you were saying about the storms, I was wondering, is there a way that the ship could submerge for, 4 to 5 hours?
Whoa.
To get out of the storm, it goes under the water, which is a better place to be during a storm. It's
Maybe some of these, like if they have a specific purpose that they don't need to be above, like their passenger ships or something. Maybe most of the ship is underwater all the time. Oh,
yeah.
that's neat.
Rock fan says just don't name it Titanic.
Yeah.
So my two favorite pieces for bases. Ooh. Actually have no idea what time it is.
It is 8:45. I don't know if Gareth is going to be on tonight. If Gareth's going to be on, then I'm sure we'll raid him at 9:30 for those watching on Twitch. Slide right over to Gareth. Yeah, this is this underwater steam powered paddle boat is pretty killer. This could be a neat piece of Patreon content to develop, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of bright green right now, but it dries really kind of a murky, deep green. Like you can see it quite pretty well where I'm laying it down, but you can see like right over here, it's already starting to kind of fade into it. So it really does have a natural look to it. Shh. Hi, Golden.
Hello, Ghosty. Rockfan says, depending on how deep the water is, maybe they're not so much boats, but submerged vehicles.
I mean, I could see that working on some rivers for sure.
Yeah. Like they're underwater crawlers or something. Gussie says, hey guys, can't stay. Just wanted to drop by and say hi. Well, thanks for coming in and saying hi. Appreciate that. Hopefully you're doing something fun. World
Spinning.
is cracking. Showing.
What did you do? Oh, thank you. I just finished this guy. So he's going to go on this bait. Ah, I'm losing my grip on him.
Switch. Apologies.
Do this so I can actually hold him. So he is a galvanized serpent. So I absolutely have one thing done and off the shelf of shame. So I'm just throwing down a few little highlights and the base shall be done.
That looks awesome. Love the design, Ghosty said.
Yeah, I was laughing about it when we were first starting because I didn't even realize it. I just grabbed 3 random things that I thought I could maybe finish, and they were all 3 by Mini Monster Mayhem. Like, oops. Oh well.
Shelf of shame is shrinking.
It is. Not by much, but it is.
Ghosty, we have not put out the next piece of content that's ready. I just need to get it in a document. That'll be either tonight after the stream or early tomorrow. I kind of got wound up on some other stuff today. But coming soon. Ghosty says, all right, you guys have a great rest of the night. Yeah,
You
thank
too.
you. You too. You too.
I know you didn't, but I heard the song anyway. Do, do. Mario.
Oh, no.
I know you didn't do it, but I still
Did the Green Acres thing. Doop, 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 doop.
I am so bad at identifying music.
Well, it's a pretty old show.
Well,
Just know it from watching reruns when I was a kid.
I mean, come on, Corn. Seriously.
What do you mean? Born with a K? Is that what you're doing to me again?
No, I'm not. I'm saying that, like... So, Ty's really good at music, and I'm very not good at music. So he used to always... Well, he still does. He hums a song or whistles a song. He's like, do you know what that is? I'm like, no. He's like, do you know who it's by? I'm like, I don't know, Corn. My answer for all of it. Corn. I don't know.
That for one of my band's song.
I know, and I felt horrible, but you were also whistling it, and I can't identify anything when it's being whistled.
I'm gonna add it. Oh, I sized it, but subnote color could be a neat name.
Yeah.
Rockhan says I have CCRs rolling on the river stuck in my head with all the boat talk. Except on Cathar, it would be left a good job in the city 12 years ago. Because that's how long it took you to get to the next city. No. Only just a couple of months.
All right. I'm trying to decide. See, it's got these like holes. And it kind of makes me want to put goo in there.
We can't see it, baby. Tilt it up.
So there's like caverns, sort of, so to speak. Let me go. Like here, I don't want to fill them with goo.
Divots are like little steps.
But
Puddles.
yeah, you know what? Yes, they're puddles of goo. That's what
Puddles of goo. You're going to add goo?
I'm gonna add goo. Add goop.
This is where the metal snake naturally oils itself in goo.
I think the river crawler thing has got to be developed.
Oh yeah.
I think it's separate from the other stuff we were talking about. Steamboats and submerged steamboats. Submerged steamboats or steamships. This is like a thing on its own. It's almost like, I don't know. It's its own thing. Oh, like a salvage company using something like this. I mean, they might even use it on the lake. It might not just be a river thing, because you think about, oh, what's the name of that lake? Mira's Tier, I think. It's something like that. In any case, that big giant lake that Longshore rests beside, I can see, there's big storms come up and ships are sunk, and so this kind of vessel would let them, with the proper dock that they'd have to build out to go under the, to the bottom or whatever, but they'd use it for salvaging ships after storms and stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
Rockfan says, if this snake is a construct, does it make hissing sounds by releasing steam? Oh, that's good. Dude.
Wrong end. Wrong end.
Wrong end.
That is up to the person who gets to take this home.
Which end the whistle comes out of?
No. Whether it hisses. Yeah. I like that. That is better.
Earlier, I got to like the second one. I'm so bad at remembering the lower third.
That's just a little more interesting. Should have warned you guys are going for a ride.
Woohoo!
And you can see my note to self: don't go past this spot.
Of
That's what that is.
course, now that spot's different because you're setting the camera down in a different place or something.
In general, I tend to put the back legs of the camera on the line, which kind of keep that location the right location for. Don't put my hand past that one.
Painting on the edge, man.
I'm so thrilling with my daring paint.
Daredevil mini painter.
Okay, now he has to come off while that dries, but otherwise, base is done. And
Yeah, I'm glad you added the goo. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's Nurgle's rot, so it will kind of get a little bit translucent, as it dries, but the thicker it is, the richer the color stays. So you'll have variances because I do have some where I just kind of brushed it across. So it'll look pretty good when it dries up. So I think because I've got this brown over here, I'm going to go ahead and get her outfit painted for leather. But I'm not going to finish anything else tonight because it is already 9 o'clock, right? It's...
Oh. Rockfan says it's a snake that doesn't hiss, really a snake, or just a glorified land eel.
You know, the fact of the matter is I love eels, so I'm gonna go with eel. Yes. But that is as soon as it is done, or as soon as that is all dried up, I'll clear coat it, glue it down to its base, get photos, and put it up on Etsy.
Ooh.
Like I do with everything else. Well, that's not true. Because the Bahir from last night, I did not glue it down to its base because I very much will be shipping that piece base separate.
It'll be safer to let whoever buys it glue it together. Yeah.
Yes, dear.
Sorry, I got distracted. So, what's cool about all of these? We're creating vehicles, but we're also creating careers. And in my mind, a lot of the careers are what create stories that we're going to write.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Some of them are obviously like events. We're going to write about some races, stuff like that, right? But the salvage company with a river crawler in the lake and stuff, that could be an interesting story. Especially, I mean, it's such a big place. And 3,000 years later, there may be creatures that they don't know about yet.
Yeah. I'm biting my tongue on purpose.
Well, by they, I didn't mean viewers. I meant...
Oh, I know. I know what you meant.
The people in the stories that live there.
But I immediately went to a few creatures that we know pretty awesome details about that I need to shut the hell up.
Well, I'm stuck on the river crawler, but I think this is a good example. Like, you're talking about all the inventors and stuff that are making headway right now. They're discovering things, like an age of discovery, right?
Right.
But the thing about it is, this age of discovery and these new inventions is bringing them to new places, or it's attracting other things. That it's a very good, reason of why they're age of discovery. They're discovering new creatures and stuff too.
Sort of like you were quiet before and now you've made a whole bunch of noise, so now I know you're here.
Yeah, exactly. Think about the spaces between where there are no cities and maybe people haven't even stepped foot yet. Through increasing their ability to travel more quickly. There's some new stuff they're going to find out.
Not all of which will be pleasant.
Well, that wouldn't be fun for us if it was, right? But it's interesting how I was, what I was trying to get at is I see the stories kind of coming out of some of the events we've thought of, a little bit of the RPG classes we've talked about, and a lot out of the careers that we've talked about. Whereas, of course, the RPG stuff later on, most of that's, the stories will be still wrapped around things like careers, but, play is going to obviously be wrapped around the classes.
Right. And the more.
Yes. Yes. But it's been funny building the world this way instead of our normal. We have a wall and we attack it, throwing as much as we can at it to see what's going to stick. And then this has been much more, I don't know, dynamic. Feels bigger at times, and other times it feels smaller.
Yeah, I get that.
All right, so 9 o'clock now. Are you gonna make it to 9:30?
Um, no, I'm tired. Oh, I mean, I'm not gonna finish anything else. I'm literally, I wouldn't even get, I don't even think in by 9:30 I would have all of her clothing base coated in this brown at this point.
She's pretty neat though. I hadn't seen her before.
I painted her one other time way back when we first got them. And I was struggling because getting very unhappy with brushes at the moment. I was struggling to paint her because of the theme the guy wanted and the sculpt weren't marrying up in my head. I couldn't combine those two ideas, and your son actually fixed it for me because I was telling him I couldn't figure out how to get the look he was going for, and he's like, "Well, what are those things called on that show you watch? The undead frozen things, like the White Walkers?" He's like, "Yeah, those." I'm like, "Oh my god, how did I not think of that?" So basically, I have painted her one other time, and I painted her to look like a White Walker.
Rockfan says bouncing ideas off other people I always feel helps. I agree. All the years when I worked in software and I worked on larger teams, mostly develop little things that go they're part of something bigger or whatever. So designing is always big like that. So there's certainly advantages to having lots of other input with the design phase. With the development phase, it's a little easier to be able to just make decisions and roll with a small team to actually get done.
And whereas, we bounce ideas off of each other all the time, one of the downsides to being married for as long as we've been married is most of our ideas are the same idea. Like, hey, what if we did this? Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Okay, well, fresh input from anybody else.
Well, one of the interesting things that's come out of this process is we talked about. Well, I think we were talking about travel, and we moved into structures specifically on the plane, and of course we talked about the land ship and stuff like that. But then also solid structures on the farm, right? It was just before that night, after all the other discussions that we'd had with crowd forgers, that I realized the whole lack of gunpowder thing was going to affect how structures, even though it's sort of Victorian era, it might kind of look a little bit medieval because, there's not cannonballs knocking down castle walls and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's not like when we first started talking about the plane, I had that idea that evolved out of setting rules like not much on gunpowder in this world. And then talking back and forth with everybody else. Okay. Anyway, I'm pontificating on my joy of this creation.
It's okay.
Actually, now that non-sailing
Have we heard from Gareth at all to know if he's streaming or no?
You know, Gareth, if you're on and streaming tonight, let us know and definitely.
Otherwise, we may end early because I am actually fairly tired.
It's been a week.
And it's not over.
Hmm.
And I have about 2.5 hours worth, 3 hours worth of work before I go to bed tonight. I'm going to say 2.5 hours. I'm going to say 2 hours. I'm going to give myself a time limit so I can be in bed at a decent hour.
What are so Waterworld uses a like I don't know sailing vessel names. I don't know if it's schooner or what, but it has the pontoon with the net across the middle.
I don't know.
They're real fast little sailors.
I don't know what the proper name for that is.
That would be kind of a neat one for places like the big lake and larger bodies of water like that. Let me search and find.
Keep hitting my mic.
Trimaran? Pronouncing that right? A trimaran?
I have no. Not a sailor.
That looks right. Very fast.
His was.
Due to the speed-based design, trimarans are often used in yacht racing. That's the note. Something I can see people use lakes. There's no sense in getting into ocean voyages. Shit. Hello, Gareth. We were
Hi,
just
Gareth.
talking about you. We were wondering if you were going to be streaming tonight.
La la la.
Finally got the kids to bed, Gareth.
Ah, one of those nights. I have to clean some of these brushes. I've just been like grabbing the brush and getting pissed off when it didn't do its job and throwing it in the water. Now I have this pile of brushes in the water. The ones I need are in here.
A fairly direct little note to myself. Trimaran. Lakes would be great for these. Waterworld boats. So, Gareth, are you streaming tonight?
God, I am getting so tired so quick.
I mean, it's almost 10 after.
I can do it.
Yes, Gareth is. So, for those of you watching on Twitch, we will be raiding over to Gareth this evening. And then Gareth says, "Or commandos tonight."
Ah.
So I wanted to go with sailing stuff tonight, but the Steam stuff has actually been a lot of fun. We've got, it's some form and design of steamboat. Sure that we'll have something like that, although it'll have its own, regional differences for requirements that it has, right?
Right.
Then we've got for like the big lake, a submergible workship that's steam powered. We have a residential one that just stays pretty much submerged, so it gets to kind of hide from the pirates. It's out of the storms. Then the work one that can submerge, of course, it'll go down to avoid those things as well. And then Rockfan's river crawler, we're calling it at the moment, or maybe a bottom crawler.
I like river crawler.
I do too, even if it's in a lake. Who cares, right? Things get named by where they're used. So the river crawler, I think, is going to be a lot of fun. It seems like it's going to be a very dangerous vessel.
Yeah.
But wow, it's going to be pretty cool. Rockfan says, we are slowly converting your setting into a steampunk realm. Well, that's
slowly about it, honey.
Yeah, that's been mentioned before that it's kind of like that anyway because we're in that era of Victorian and Old West. Most of the time, I think it probably by the way people dress, behave, it's going to seem more Old West, but I can see them having lots of this stuff. And not to mention the nearly magical science things that they're going to use, powering things, crystals and stuff like that too.
This guy.
You guys don't mind it when I beat up the mic all over the place, right?
No, it sounds awesome.
Okay, huh?
Nothing is as bad as Gareth's I'm mixing up my paint stare.
I like that stare a lot.
It is creepy as hell, Gareth, and you know it.
Rockfan says, I guess then full steam ahead.
I see what you did there.
Hopefully it's not going to feel like any of those things, honestly. I think, it depends on where you're at and what you're doing. If you're a farmer on the plateau and you're farming Agdal, then the world is going to feel very Old West.
I think so, yeah.
If you are a guide and you're bringing rich people into the edge of the plain for their, 2-year vacation so that they can hang out at a copse of wood and turn around and come back, it's going to feel very much like a fantasy kind of RPG thing almost, right? And then if you're traveling between the cities on steam-powered boats and stuff, then it's probably going to feel a little steampunk,
Read Gareth's.
Gareth says, what's creepy as hell? It's not creepy. Your stare.
When you're mixing your paints and you just sit there. It's like this dead eye focus. You're like staring into my soul.
That's exactly what I mean, but in a positive way. Gareth says, now I'll do it more. Rock fan, before we do finish tonight, because it is an after now, you are now officially a crowd forger before we've sent anything out. If you're interested in receiving a crowd forger's packet sent to you in the mail, be sure to, on the Discord channel, say something to either myself or Dawn. Should make me spit all over my mic. Be sure to send your mailing address to Dawn in a private message on our Discord, and you'll get dropped in that bucket of stuff going out the door into the month, beginning of next month. I guess we still have to order the stuff, but
yeah, we're behind on that. I mean,
we'll catch up. And
yes.
and it's just regular envelope mail, so it's not going to take that long to get to people.
No. Once we get it going, it's going to be knocked out pretty quick.
Gareth says, because telling me something bothers you is the best way to get me to stop.
That's what I was giggling about. I read that.
Rockvan says, gives you great variations and potential stories. I hope so. I mean, obviously, I've got a clear picture of the world in my head, but when we sit around on a Saturday morning and Yumi and Cora are spitballing for short story ideas or something like that, they're all very different, like what we're describing here, but I still don't feel like we've stepped off of the planet.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Gareth says, I got my mini the other day. Love the stone giant. Oh, that's the painted stone giant?
Yes.
That's awesome. Rockfan says, I mean, you guys have my address from my Etsy orders, but I'll try to remember to reach out.
Yeah, just because like I don't know,
Yeah,
like identifying you to
To
your
that
Etsy
address.
order is not always easy. Like if you told me the things that you ordered, I could probably figure out who you are, but I don't know, like Rock Fan doesn't show up on Etsy.
right. Yeah, if you could just help us like put those two things together, then we'll make sure
Then
you
we're
get
good,
a,
yeah.
a packet. And what the packet is going to be is you're going to get a postcard, campfire story, and a sticker. Should be fun.
Like I have one customer who has one name on the Etsy store and a different name for their shipping address, and then a different name in Discord and a different name on Twitch. So I was like, I don't know who this is. And they're like, oh, I ordered this and that. Like, oh, I know who you are. Okay, I got you.
Gareth says, and I still need to listen to the audio file for that campfire story. Yeah, let us know what you think of it. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was fun enough. We're already planning like next ones that are going to get audio files to go with them and stuff.
Unfortunately, that does mean that one of the next ones that we will be doing an audio file for will likely be me reading. So likely what's going to happen is I'm going to read it, I'm going to be happy, and I'm going to call it done, but it's not going to be matching the text of the story exactly word for word.
I think it's funny how tonight you keep putting things that sound like they should be in a negative light, and all I hear is positive things. So I don't know what the problem is.
You're a dork. I have white all over me. What do I need for this? Metallic purple. For these little crystals.
Yeah, we did something funny with that one, Gareth, and that I don't even know how to put it. We like tried to make up our own accent. It's a mix of things from here, but
you'll catch a little
see.
size Cajun coming out.
Yeah, there's a little bit of Cajun, but I don't know, Northeastern or something too.
Yeah, at one point there was like, was that Boston? Where'd that come from?
Well, that might have been too. I was thinking even a little further east, but yeah. Gareth says, "Oh, now I'm really intrigued."
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's the same story that you got in your content that's text based too. We just, read it to you so that you can go to sleep at night hearing the story.
Don't do that. No, you'll have nightmares.
Oh, that one's about Mark. Mark Save You. It's about Mark. It's our first campfire story that we've released about Mark. Mark is a big deal in the world on the continent of Miradilal. Rockfan says I ordered a green dragon, a bagpipe kobold guild mage, and baby griffin.
All at the same time?
We shall see.
Yeah, because like I remember sending out those things. Yeah, the bagpipe cobalt is actually extremely popular. It is the #1 seller of cobalts. Is the weirdest thing. Like everybody, when they get a cobalt, they get the bagpipe one. But the green dragon,
okay,
is not as popular. I've not shipped out as many of those. And the baby griffin is definitely all at the same time.
I think I found it.
I don't remember packing all of those together. Unless it's been a while since you ordered.
Your last name starts with a B, I believe. Yes, all at the same time, and that's what I'm seeing.
How old was that order?
Sure. The beginning of the month?
No, because I haven't. Like this one's going out tomorrow.
Well, they didn't say they received it. They said they ordered it.
That's why. Okay. That makes more sense.
Yes, so I think we know who you are.
Yes.
Those
First
things
initial is an S.
gave the first, and I gave the first of the last, and information.
No.
D, no relation to
Yeah. Yes. Okay. I know who you are now. Okay. I have to say that okay,
yeah, we found you.
because when you said the green dragon, I was thinking the ancient green dragon. I'm like, I haven't printed one of those in a while. But you got the baby one, which is so flippin' cute. You are gonna love him. He's actually
Oh, that's sold out at the moment.
yeah, it is. He is that particular order is actually drying right now so that I can cure it and it'll be packed up tonight. So ish. It is so cute. And the griffin is so flippin' tiny that you're getting 2 of those because I was worried that the wings will break off in shipping. So you get an extra one of those.
Griffin.
Yes. It is again like you definitely had like a cutesy order. I loved it. Okay. Yes, I like these.
Okay, so
in
we know who
shiny
you are.
purple.
We will use that address when we send the packet out then. Rockfan says I'm playing a Drake Warden and have 5 different baby dragon minis for flavor. Nice.
Nice.
A menagerie of babies.
See, now I want to delay their order so I can print an extra present. That's so cool.
I mean, we're gonna have to send them a packet for our
Yes,
crowd
that's
forging.
So I might just find an extra baby dragon.
Blur. Dinner was
Some
too
of
good.
these- Yeah, it was really good. Hey guys, you guys should be super proud of us. We ate before stream.
Which is
Both.
weird for a
Like,
Thursday, it
2
seems
days-
like.
2 days in a row, we ate before the stream. I'm so proud of ourselves.
Which means I'm belching 2 days in a row on the stream.
God damn it.
What the hell? Damn it, Garrett.
Garrett says, oh my god.
You're an ass. And thank you, Rock Fan.
Rockfan says, no, I'm already so grateful. You're too nice. Not to me.
I
You're
was
mean
just
as
saying,
hell to me.
I don't know who they're talking about. Are you too nice?
Everyone, you're
gotta be
too
you.
nice to everyone except me.
Oh. I am just easily excited by people's characters and backstories and D&D in general, and we need to play before I go on a murder hobo spree. Not in game.
Starting with,
You
oh, I knew it.
I know other DMs now, so your life is no longer safe.
Did you read that already? Garrett says, I was just scared that you ate before stream. Rockfan says, giving me so much is too nice.
Ow.
Mhm.
I'm having trouble getting the back of these gem looking things. But I do like them being this shiny purple. Fish party. I don't know why I went with purple. Because, like I said, these have been on my shelf for way too long. So a lot of these I guess I was like, she'll be shooting metal dragons out of her arms. Now it looks like Mercury. I like it. I don't know why I did it. That's what happens when you just set things down for more than a year. Quasar in there. Damn it.
Again.
Oh, Ty, you gotta read.
Hold on 1 second. So I have this idea of a wind tug, also another land-based sailing vehicle. So it's a multi-wheeled, like a skiff, not very big again, pulled by a big ballooning sail that it has the ropes are like 50 feet. It lets it like a kite kind of thing again, pulls way out in front of it and here. Oh crap. Gareth
I know,
says,
that's why I said you gotta read.
yeah. Gareth says, you guys are getting good at getting the grub before y'all get on the gaming goodness. I need to do like mouth exercises before those. Rockfan says, also, my friend is using the bunny monk I ordered with my elf ranger. He picks on my baby dragon, jokes on him. He leveled up and can fly now.
Oh, shit.
Better be careful with them jokes on the dragon. Gareth says, see you all soon.
All right,
yeah,
bye,
it's
Gareth.
9:25, Dawn.
Okay, I am so tired.
So I'm going to start to wrap up a little bit then.
Yes.
I am not
that's a much
sure
better
yet
fit.
if Cora is going to be streaming on Sunday or not. We'll find out. Oh, do you already know?
No, I don't know for sure, but I almost guarantee you it's a no.
Okay, well, we'll see. If so, we will definitely drop something in Discord to alert everyone. In any case, we will be back on Tuesday.
And I will be assembling, painting. I don't know exactly where we're going to get beforehand, but we are going to be doing the Mind Flayer Dragon. And I
full size.
I cannot bring myself to print that anything other than full size. It is massive, it is spectacular, and it deserves to be full. It just does. So, camera angles will be different because there's no way in hell the camera can sit in front of me and you guys can see what the hell is happening because that thing is massive.
When this one gets done, I get to keep it.
No. It's gonna go to a con and someone else will pick it up and take it home with them. Hopefully,
But no one will love it as much as me.
And I will never have to fight it.
Maybe you got to fight it anyway. Anyway, so that's what's going on Monday and Tuesday.
Yes,
6:30 U.S. Central Time.
I will actually start to work on stats for the monster as well.
I forgot about that. You're gonna have to remind me, but yes, we'll do that.
Hey Ty,
I might just find some.
don't forget to work on stats.
Still not convinced that there's not some out there already. But anyway,
I'm sure there are.
In which case, I will just be reading stats. That's Tuesday, 6:30 U.S. Central Time. We'll be doing Crypt Monkey Paints that night. And then again on Wednesday, we'll be doing what we've been doing tonight. Dawn will very likely still be painting on that
Mind Flare.
Mind Flare Dragon.
Yeah. There's no way I'm finishing that in one stream.
Probably not two either.
No, I think that's going to easily be 3 to 4 streams, which means we'll work on it on Tuesday and then Wednesday. And then the following Tuesday, if we don't have an Alter the Stream, I'll work on it again and we'll keep going with it unless we have Alter the Streams.
Sorry. Wednesday we'll be back doing that, and we'll be world building again. I do not know what will be world building. Sure, it'll be cool. Tonight was another one of those where I'm worried. We've already talked about vehicles and stuff. Maybe nothing will pop up. These are great.
Yeah.
These are awesome. We need these vehicles to get people a little faster around the world when we get to the gaming part of this, right? Rockfan says, all dragons deserve our best. Great stream, thanks, and I'm looking forward to next week seeing the Mind Flyer Dragon.
And you'll get a shipping notification tomorrow. with new presents coming. I mean, they're not presents because you paid for them. But
Right? Yeah.
they're
Not
sent
make
with
it out to be
love.
something it's not.
And my love is the present. And I got one thing off the shelf of shame, guys. All right. Night, guys.
You guys. Oh wait, no, I gotta get set up.
Oh, yes, that's right. We're going to go
I don't even
raid.
know if
I don't know how that works.
well, I know how it works. I just have to go look.
Cool.
If he's on yet. Yeah, so YouTube, you'll just see us go away shortly. Folks on Twitch, you will follow us over. Here we
As soon as you start pushing buttons.
just have to push some buttons. That's all, y'all.
Era chefs have crafted a
Oh,
masterpiece.
well, that's not
Oh,
muted.
that's awesome.
It's an ad. But he is live, so this will be starting.
Perfect.
All right. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. We had tons of fun.
Yes.
Oh, hold on. What's this? Take your time. It's always worth it, Rock Fan says.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially with something that's that big, and I haven't gotten to paint something that large since Cthulhu, really. Well, I guess the Serpent Dragon. No, it's still not as big as the Mind Flayer.
All right. I'm ready. So I'm going to start the timer.
Cool.
10 seconds. We'll be headed over there. So look for us next week. Thanks for hanging out tonight. It was a lot of fun. Rock Fan, thanks for jumping into the crowd forging fun. Keep hanging out with that because eventually we'll be all the gang will be back together. Usually we have more people than this. I think everybody's busy tonight.
Not only that, I think that summer, a lot of...
Yeah, people getting plans now and it's getting nice out. All right, so we're going to raid over there and we will